Welcome to the CFG Gamecast, episode number 27, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest great gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays and Sundays and release of podcast services like Apple and Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. So show us some love and follow us on our website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Davis Green with CFG Games, and with me are two special guests. As always, I have Flexiss flexing it strong. How are you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. It's always great to be here with you guys.
Awesome. That is
How
great.
How are you doing?
I am great. I'm feeling more energized after my power nap I had literally 10 minutes before the show. But we're definitely, but it's definitely going good. I can't wait to see y'all in a week's time. So we'll definitely be stepping it up during that time. But anything good? Anything new with you? How was your Halloween? What'd you dress up as?
Oh, my Halloween was good. I enjoyed myself very much. It was very relaxing. I also did my first training session with Peachon to prepare myself for North American Regionals coming up in a couple weeks. So I'm super excited for that.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see that. Is that going to be where's it going to be streamed on, by the way?
So that's going to be in Vegas. If anything, it'll probably be so the training sessions themselves are streamed on my personal channel, twitch.tv/Flexiss__. However, the tournament, North American Regionals, should be on the Capcom Fighters Twitch channel. So
okay, cool.
You guys can tune in there when that comes around, I believe the 15th of November. So a couple weeks from now.
Sweet deal. Oh, that's awesome. I'm definitely gonna check that out. Yeah. I was watching that. It was really good. It was a really good time. It's actually very informative too, because here's a fun fact. Yeah, I am not I've been in the gaming community or fighting game community for a while, but like to this day, I still don't know how to read frame data. I should.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Flexiss knows what that means, but it's really important. Oh, yeah. You need to know frame data. You need to learn how to do it, but I've never learned it. I basically kind of hearted the cards it most of the time, and then I just figured out what works and what didn't work. But I need to learn it, especially when I play the versus games, because oh god. But anyways. Kind of diversed on that. But anyways, then we also got the 5-star general on the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing well, my friend. It's been another productive week, grinding out at work. I picked up some freelance gigs as well.
Oh, you did?
I shot a hockey game last night. Yeah. So I did that. I've been doing some consulting to somebody out here that they have a studio. They use vMix and stuff like that. So I've been going over there, helping them dial in their audio, helping them, learn how to, properly put together a production and whatnot. So that's been cool. Extra cash is always great.
Oh, no doubt.
We're excited. We've got the Extra Life stuff going on right now, which you can check out. And I think and I forgot to put this in my title, but exclamation point Extra Life will show you. You know what I mean? We've got I've got my stuff in. This isn't showing you exactly. Why is my desktop capture not working? Don't mind that for some reason. That is acting weird. So that's what it's supposed to be. Here we go.
You know what you should do?
So yeah, there it is. I'm sorry, what's that?
You know what you should do? I was actually meaning to let you know that Extra Life has an extension on Twitch that you can actually put a bar, like a spot where you can
click
on. Are you
serious?
On donate. Just type in charity inside the extensions, and you make a donate bar, and then it's going to be under your thing, so you don't have to. So no one has to go on the website. Just if they see you on Twitch, just click on the donate, and then people will be able to easily get to your channel. So yeah.
I will check that out. But I'm super excited about that. That's going to be next weekend. So myself and Scorp Kitty, we're driving up Friday night after work. Saturday is going to start the event for us with CFG Games. That whole crew, Flexiss is going to be there. We're going to do the podcast live from down there. We're going to be playing games all day. This is to help the Children's Hospital of Phoenix. I created a link and stuff like that too, so that I could help and donate to the Children's Hospital here in Las Vegas. So it's going to be for a good cause. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of special guests, people that are going to be out there. So we're really excited about that. I'm super geeked to be a part of that and to do it up. So really, it's just getting through this week and then getting out there and having a good time.
Man, you were like always stepping on my shoes, aren't you? Aren't you with this extra life? Second week in a row, you're just like, you know what? I got this. I can do this better, and you can. Fine. You win, Smitty. You win.
I'm gonna take your talking points.
Like, I will take your talking points right out your mouth. But like what Smitty was saying, definitely. We're gonna actually have a really special. We're gonna have a special guest on this one, and I think this is actually freaking awesome. I don't know if anyone knows who Chris Tang is, but Chris Tang is like the champion of Tetris that came back in '92 for the Nintendo series back in the '92. But he has done a crap ton of stuff. He was a programmer for Street Fighter 3. He was also doing Marvel vs. Capcom. He also did, but he's a big Tetris fan, and then the big thing is that he's also doing he's going to be our special guest for that. So definitely stay tuned on that. Next week we're going to be doing it for Extra Life. And to answer Savage Dope Panda's question, what is Extra Life? It is an awesome charity that allows streamers like Flexiss, me, and Smitty to give back by doing by streaming. For on behalf of the children's hospitals that any children's hospital within the Children's Miracle Network. So if you follow one of us or any of us, there's going to be a link there where you can get into it, and then you'll see more about it. But yeah, on next Saturday we're going to be doing a 24-hour stream on CFG Games to try to do it. Our goal is $3,000. We are starting, and we're going to be way ahead of this. So definitely do it. Definitely check it out, and any little bit helps. So thank you, and thank you for the people who've already done it too. So, anyways, let's get back to business. So we'll do it. Let's get it going. So so each of us will picks a new topic of discussion within video games from the previous week. The topic would or could be about a specific game or something that happened in the gaming industry. We don't want to just talk about it ourselves. We want you, the listeners or the viewers, to be a part of the conversation. So if you have something, if you're watching us on Twitch, Smitty will go inside the chat. We'll see what y'all think about our topics. If it's something cool, we will definitely put it in our conversation and in the podcast. So definitely, we encourage anyone who wants to be a part of it to just show their opinions. So let's get this started, and we will go with Flexiss. We'll start with you.
All right, so I want to talk about not a specific gaming title, but about where we get these games from. I'm talking about video game digital distribution service platforms, specifically Steam and Epic Games Store.
Mm-hmm.
Both these platforms received fairly significant and noticeable updates, which included details like more advanced features, better graphic user interfaces, and more customization. So what exactly did they get? Steam, for starters, adjusted the Steam library, allowing playtime and achievements to be easily visible, as well as updates to how a user can view news, events, and even what their friends are playing. In addition, you can group games together into something called, or you can group games together into something called collections, which is similar to how one would group photos into an album. The community tab has also received updates, similar to the library, to allow greater ease when viewing news, but adding a more social media aspect, in my opinion, when I open it, when it comes to organizing screenshots, artwork, broadcasts, and more. Now, in addition, Epic Games released an update this week that gives users the ability to view trending games, browse by genre or features, see what's on sale, what's been recently updated, and more. It also shared a look at some of the big new features in development, including a wish list, continued improvements to library view, and critic reviews on store pages. Additional updates were rolled out for work behind the scenes, which included changes to its store to better handle high volumes of traffic. They added Thai language support, and they've begun implementing 3D Secure in order to bring the EGS Epic Games Store into compliance with European regulatory requirements. So, to summarize, they're both quality of life updates as well as visual and functional updates to both these engines. It's great to see that there's constant work towards improvement, but I also wonder if some of these changes and additions are necessary or needed. Specifically, when it comes to Steam, I've noticed that under that community tab, it's very much begun to feel more like a social media page. The way that they have likes, the way that individuals can post photos of themselves, because I was scrolling through it for the first time, and I noticed that the like people were posting selfies and people were posting their own personal I guess social media, for lack of better words.
Mm-hmm.
So it felt kind of strange as a gaming platform and as a place that normally I only associate with like getting games from and getting updates for games and playing games with my friends. So for me, like seeing that social media aspect, I actually didn't like it. But I want to know what you guys thought. If you guys notice any differences when you were using Steam and Epic Games Engine, what your guys' opinions are on the new updates.
You can go for Smithy.
All right. So for me, I haven't been on the Epic Games store as of yet. I have been on the Steam one though, and I'm not gonna lie. For me, whoops, my bad. I think it's a better. Yeah, sorry, wrong camera. I think it's I enjoy the new layout. I enjoy being able to see the games. I'm a visual person though, so it really appeals to me being able to see those icons. I know some people in chat earlier were talking about it increasing load times and stuff like that because now they have to load the icons and whatnot. But again, I'm very much a visual person, so I want to be able to see. I don't want to just see text. I want to be able to. Oh, I totally forgot about this game. This looks totally cool. Let me go check it out. As far as the social aspects of it, I feel like a lot of platforms are kind of going in that route. Again, we know the power of social media, what's going on with that and whatnot. So I feel like a lot of sites and a lot of places are trying to integrate that social aspect into their platforms and whatnot, so people can more easily communicate. They don't have to use outside sources or messenger systems. They can use it directly, natively within the platform, which is interesting because I think that'll also too. If they're decent and whatnot, does that start threatening things? Are people not going to use like Discords and stuff? I don't think that's really a problem, but it could be another way for people to be able to socialize within a platform. Or hey, I'm in this group that's specifically just on this like in Steam or whatever, so we have a group chat within there that we talk and coordinate and things like that. So I can see the benefits of it. It doesn't bother me. It didn't feel, at least to me, that didn't seem like any kind of stretch as far as what the platform's doing and changes and new things that they're bringing to the table. It seems it makes sense to me, especially those that aren't like on a Discord or something like that, right, for at least people to be able to communicate and organize things together within that.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm always excited. I'm not done yet.
Let me finish.
Overall, I love seeing change. I love seeing them, kind of freshen things up. Things are moving forward. So I feel like it's kind of been what it's been for a little while now, and it's a nice little kind of not necessarily a rebranding, but a freshen up of the brand, of the look, of the UI. So I'm always for that.
It's actually kind of funny to me. And then, well, before I go with this, but Ermengarde actually does bring a pretty good point on this, because she says, I think I might actually make me more inclined to play my backlog because I have visual associated it rather than just the title. And I totally agree. I mean, now, because when I I am not really a big Steam fan personally. I've never really have been. The only reason why I have Steam was because of one game, and then like my library is probably atrociously small. But the big thing is with Steam to do this. I kind of want to raise another point with this. It was that, do you really think Steam felt like they needed to do this upgrade because they're wanting to compete with Epic? Like, because theoretically, I mean, prior to this change, when was the last time they've done a big upgrade like this?
Exactly.
So like, I mean, like,
it's been quite a long time.
Like,
I think it caught a lot of people off guard.
Oh, big time. And I think with Epic, I mean, I've always thought that having the best kind of competition, if you have competition within the same realm as you, is what's going to make you better. And it's what's going to make the people who care about this kind of thing better too, because it's just like, oh, this guy's doing this, so we got to step our game up. It's a healthy level of competition. And even though I know the views with Epic Game Store, what they're doing with PC proprietary and stuff, is a very mixed bag right now. I think that what Steam is accomplishing with this, I mean, some of the features that they are actually allowing to do this was actually a good thing. Now on the social side, I don't really care as much, because I mean, like it's kind of like goes back to like saying like when we had our Diablo our thing last week about Diablo Immortal. It's like you could play games on the phone, but we don't, because it's not the best way. It's not the best kind of level of excitement. I think the adding social media is just like a bell and whistle that I don't know if it's going to be utilized as well as what they're wanting it to be utilized for. But I think the better thing, in my opinion, is that they're now going to show more visual of the visual of the people's libraries, because the thing that made Steam really fun and really cool, or really popular, was the nostalgia. So like most people bought the game back in the day for like that was like $5, and then they're like, oh, I wanted to play this game, and then you just see it on a flat list that doesn't really show like a picture or something like that. It's not really popping out to you when you see it. So now with this, I think it's going to be great. And the only way that I usually did Steam was big picture mode, because big picture mode did always have that level of presentation of all of your library of characters and stuff. So I mean, I think it's definitely a good direction on where Steam is going on their interface and stuff. And I think it's like with some of these changes, I don't feel like this is something that was just abrupt or whatever. They were working on this because I think they were just wanting to keep people's like expectations and also hype for the platform itself to be up and healthy. So like, I mean, so yeah, I'm for it. The change is a big change. It's a very healthy change, because it's like I said, years. It's been years. I don't even remember the last time they did something this big with their platform.
Well, and Ermagerd said in chat here, she said it's the first change since she joined Steam 7 years ago. So who knows how long it really has been, but it's been that way for quite some time. Yeah. But the visual aspect of it, to me, is the most appealing, because that is like, I'm looking at, I'm like, oh, I didn't even know I had this game, or whoa, like, what's this all about? Let me go, like, how do I have this in my library? I've never opened it,
To have it as the default mode, because like I said, big picture mode has always done it. But regular mode of Steam, like you had to click on library. You click on the library, and it was just literally, oh, here's your games. Here's the games that you have that you're sharing with that you may be sharing. But but I'm just glad that they finally just said, okay, let's just do it for both sides. I mean, and switch to it. So like I was definitely for that change. Now now here's a question, because I really don't know. I do have Epic installed on my computer, but I've never used it. Is Epic very visual based too, or like what? How have any of y'all messed with the UI on that?
I would say
so. I've messed with it. Oh,
go ahead.
Smitty,
No, please. No, please go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, because for me, Epic Games like has been pretty basic as far as visuals go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily say it's like anything particularly exciting. You know, it's a platform that I use to play specific Epic games. But to me, it sounds like the updates are primarily geared more towards quality of life rather than visual, particularly with, you know, seeing the way stuff is on sale, potentially adding a wish list in the future. And adding more features rather than adjusting the user interface of it like Steam did. So,
Okay.
I haven't played around a ton with Epic. It's been a while since I've used Epic, but like I said, it sounds to me like a lot of it's quality of life stuff.
Okay, I see. Okay, that's
Yeah, I'm trying to bring it up right quick, but I had an update to at least get a visual because it's been a while. I think it is more visual, and it has more of a layout that's like that has the pictures and stuff like that. But again, I hardly, you know, it's like I have games that run through the Epic Games launcher, but I the only time I really go in is when they have their free games, and I'm like, let me go ahead and download to the library of games I'm never gonna ever play. But I still do it.
Everyone likes free. Everyone likes free 99, and I mean that's exactly. So there's no shame in that. I've always looked at it. I mean, a lot of people aren't for some. Oh yeah, but the biggest issue, yes, but no, I mean, if I was more into tune with Steam, I really just I don't know what it is with me and just you those kind of groups like I hate Steam. I'm not a big fan of Steam. I don't care about Epic. I really don't care about Origin. Oh, Origin is on my anyways. And then you also have Ubisoft's one with Uplay and stuff. It's like there's just so many of these. There's so many of these. It's like and then it's so annoying. It's so annoying that it's like okay, everyone's splitting off and they're doing their own thing, but at the same time, it's like the granddaddy of them all is Steam. It's like and like recently, did you see the announcement with EA? EA games are now moving to is coming back to the Steam libraries. So that means you don't have to use Origin anymore.
Really?
Yeah, so you don't have to use Origin anymore and
that'll be
get rid of
nice.
that nonsense. Yeah, Origin was a piece of garbage. Even the even the EA Play, you're able to do it through Steam. So if anyone cared about that, but but no, I think like if they're gonna show this kind of level of implementation, I just hate gaming implementation. That it's just fun. I mean, it's just fun. It's really cool. So, but yeah, so definitely. And I don't know. So overall, what you said you weren't a fan of the? Why didn't you like the new layout, Flex?
Well, okay, so this is grumpy old me saying I don't like change because I used to like the old interface. I think it's a matter of just getting used to it because it is drastically different compared to the new one. But it was more so there was a section under community, and I don't. I guess I can't hate on it because it's not like it harms anything, but at the same time, I don't know if it was necessary to add. As we're seeing right now, we're seeing the
Is that Steam or is that
Epic Games
Epic?
Store.
Oh, okay.
This is Epic.
That's Epic Games, yeah. So right now we're seeing the Epic Games Store. Now I want to say that the Steam has actually a somewhat similar look to it when you open the Steam page.
What about your
See if
library?
Smitty can get his Steam open.
Yeah.
There we go. But
You're talking
I
about
would
the
say,
store or
like I
library?
said, library. Yeah, if you see it, it's kind of similar, which is funny.
Oh yeah, that's not a coincidence
but-
at all.
Yeah.
That's not a coincidence
But
at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say the community tab is the one that if you can hit community up there, Smitty.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that I'm not as into because you can see like okay, there's articles and recent news updates about games and stuff like that, but as you're starting to go through screenshots, artwork, broadcasts, videos, it turns more into a social media page. And you're seeing like okay, cool. We're seeing people streaming and we're seeing people posting videos of them playing and stuff like that. So I mean, it's incorporating aspects of like of Twitch, for example, and YouTube and stuff like that, where you can post your gaming videos directly to Steam. You can stream and broadcast directly through Steam. But at the same time, now we're also seeing a bit of an influx in as far as like a social media type page goes. if you click like on artwork and screenshots, you're going to see, okay, people are posting photos and personal images. Yeah. But that's what I mean. It's like people are using it as a platform. But people are using it as a platform to promote their content, which is great. But at the same time, for me, I don't really like that that it takes away from what Steam was to me, which was a platform for me to get games, to play games, and to play games with my friends.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of my.
Why do you feel that it takes away though? Because like you can still do that. They're just expanding.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I guess that's a good point that it is expanding. But to me, it takes, Steam had that focus. And now suddenly that focus is diverted into community as well as into games. So, but again, that's just my opinion.
Well, I see what you're kind of saying. You're kind of basically telling the kids to get off your lawn, essentially. But I definitely see what you're saying. But
okay, good point. Yeah, pretty much.
But it's like, no, I mean, but I bet you're not alone when you have that kind of sentiment though, because it's like most people who are getting Steam is getting Steam for the community, the socialization aspect. So most people are getting Steam because they got a game that they got for like $2.99, and they were like, oh, let me try playing this, and then you realize, wow, this game has aged horribly, and decide to close it. So I mean, it's like, but like, I mean,
you sound as if you're speaking from personal experience.
Oh, and rinse and repeat. Actually, no. Okay. Do you know how many? Okay, this is how many games I have on Steam, because I was like, no, I'm not going to fall for it. I have 13. That's all I have. I don't have 13 games on Steam. I know people that have thousands, and I'm just like, I'm definitely. When I saw that, I was like, nope, not gonna fall for the trap. So just keep on going, and we left it at that. But yeah, I mean, overall, this looks a lot nicer. I do like this. I do like to say.
Oh yeah, visually it's way better.
Yeah, because like this is something you should have done a long time ago. Because like I said, in big picture mode, you're able to do this. This was what they show you on presentation. All they showed you was the games, and they showed you the pictures of the games and stuff like that. And I always wondered, why didn't they do this in the regular library mode? But it's all good. That's good. Okay.
Yeah. So it seems like maybe they took that big picture mode and now applied it to the desktop
and make it look smoother though. So I'll definitely give it that. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Ermagod Surfer. I have a friend who basically owned the entire Steam library. He buys dozens of games every sale and plays, none of them. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly it.
That's me.
That's the culture. Yeah. That is the culture of Steam. And it's not a bad culture. I'm just saying that's what it is. It's like they say, hey, I played Sam & Max when I was like 8 years old back in the mid 90s, and it's only $1. And then you try it and you're like, what was I thinking? And then you just stop. Then you stop playing it, and then that's just what it is, man. Oh man, so no, but that's so funny. Okay, we'll move on. It was a really good topic there. Okay, cool. The next topic is going to be mine, and actually we'll share the topic. It's Smitty and me, because the big thing was BlizzCon 2019 this weekend. And we could probably use do the mix of the thing right here. So I am not like a big I'm a 50-50 with Blizzard. I loved them a long time ago, and I definitely like the older stuff. But when they announced Diablo 4, I was like, oh hell yeah, I am definitely on this. And the video, it's funny when you see the videos that they do. What I love about BlizzCon is when they show you the previews and the videos and stuff like that, because every time it just gets better and better and better. Like when they show their presentations, just such great presentations with this kind of stuff. And it's just all of this stuff. So anyways, BlizzCon 2019 is happening right now. This is the year where they usually do their announcements of what they're going to be releasing for the next year or what's coming soon and stuff. And the big two leaks was Diablo 4, obviously, and Overwatch 2. But keep in mind, saying that we don't just say that we forgot. But the big thing, another thing I was wanting to see was seeing when they did the opening ceremonies was their quote unquote open apology for the issues that happened with the Hong Kong thing with Blitzchung several weeks ago, and then I was like that is probably the apology and the explanation that he gave towards that was like, I truly believe, or what's it called? Let me see if I got his quote. We moved too quickly in our decision, and then to make matters worse, we were too slow to talk with all of you. It's such BS because it's like you still didn't change. I mean, you really didn't change anything. Your whole thing was that is still set to the same thing. So you just gave an open-ended apology to us again on this, and then saying, "Oh, we're sorry. I can't believe we did this." But you're still doing the problem is still happening. But anyways, that's that happened with that. But then when that happened, they were starting to show the presentations of Diablo 4. The big one was Diablo 4. I don't care what Smitty will say, but Diablo 4 was the big one. Was the big one that totally got me so hyped. We saw the video of of them doing a ritual of the dark world and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, I just need to see this thing again. I just need to see the game is so much fun. It was so much fun, and then I'm just so glad it's finally coming out. We got to play this, man. That's all I got to say. Smitty, would you be willing to play a dungeon crawler like Diablo? Because since you've never played
dungeon crawlers, by the way,
but you never played Diablo.
I loved what was the classic the one that had the archer, the
Baldur's Gate.
What the hell was that called? Huh?
Baldur's Gate or Neverwinter Nights. I mean, there's a lot of them. I mean, there was not Dungeons and Dragons or Dungeon Masters or something. There was something that was on there, and it recently came out on PS4 too, and I gotten it as well. But I enjoy games like that. I never played a Diablo. I've heard of them, I know of them, but I don't know. I never played one, dude. I would play one. I would play it, dude. That's what's gonna have to happen. Flex. It's gonna be Flex.
Gauntlet. That's what it was. Gauntlet.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry. Thank you, Cash. Gauntlet, dude. Gauntlet is my ish.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I absolutely would be on board with that.
Flex, would you be willing to play Diablo? I think it would be fun.
Absolutely, I would.
Down.
Oh my god. Oh god, I would like with Diablo, the dungeon crawling, the difficulty, all that stuff was cool. Diablo 3 was not as good as Diablo 2 in my opinion, but still the fact that we were waiting for this as a community for 7 years? I think it was 7 years for them to decide to make an announcement. We got the stupid tease last year with the garbage of Diablo Immortal, in which, by the way, it's still not out yet. They said it's coming out in 2019. You got 2 months, and then you still don't even have the big ending closure that you did for last year's thing not out yet. So what does that say about you? So I don't know. It's it's going to be incredibly hyped. I'm definitely wanting to see what they're going to do. Some things I'm more concerned about was the biggest. They haven't really shown us the most more in depth of the world yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of explanations. If we get more stuff, I'm definitely going to be on top of it, and hopefully. Smitty, if this thing is on Stadia, you know it's gonna be it's really going down. Yeah, it's gonna go down. Yeah, just want to let you know, it's Stadia's gonna have to go crazy. But yes, this is the highly anticipated game that I've been wanting to get from Blizzard forever. So that was the biggest one in my opinion. I'm glad that they also did some smaller announcements Warcraft 3, the remaster, which looks really good as well. Yeah, so they're doing Warcraft 3, the RTS remaster of that game. So we'll see how that's going to come up. And then I'm not a big WoW fan, but they just finally announced they did also a trailer of WoW Shadowlands, which as always, like I said, the video makes it look really cool, makes you so hyped to see what's going to happen. But at the same time, it seems like now they're going to go in how it looked like a reverse world. I should have given you a video of that. It looks like it's just a reverse world, like an upside down world of the world that they're currently in, since Sylvanas did what she did. So.
I want to make a comment real quick.
Yes.
Particularly about a point you made way earlier regarding the apology that Blizzard put out.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds to me like, first off, it sounds like they're sorry they got caught. They're not sorry for what they did.
Yeah.
But secondly, it sounds like there's an apology, but there's no follow-up action behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure we're all aware that China has a lot of, what's the word for it?
Pull.
There's a lot of business between Blizzard. Yeah, pull, I think is a good way to put it. China has a lot of pull with Blizzard, and so they don't really want to lose out on the money, but in retrospect, they're going to lose out on the morale, and eventually they're going to lose out on the support and the players and stuff like that. I mean, we saw protests going on at BlizzCon, because of what Blizzard has done. So it's kind of, and it's not just affecting like the one game that they have. It's affecting the games across the board.
They're affecting the Blizzard culture.
Stop playing like. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I see people that have stopped playing Overwatch as a great example. People stop playing WoW. People stop playing. Gosh, what other card game? What's that card game?
Oh, Hearthstone. Oh,
I'm gonna get so many people. Yeah, Hearthstone. Thank you. I couldn't remember it. People stop playing all these games that they used to support. So it's kind of interesting to see that they kind of put out this half-hearted apology, and I think people would have been okay with the apology if they would have seen action behind it afterwards.
Flexiss, it's like when you say half-hearted apology, you're being too nice. It was not an apology because it wasn't. It was basically it was saving face. That's what they were trying to do, and then at the same time they were trying to have their cake and eat it too with all that nonsense. And it's BS. So like you were saying about now the thing is that this is going to look like now, or this is what it is right now. It's not even looking like, is that Blizzard is bowing down to the money and is basically taking the hit off of the culture, off of their culture is what it comes down to. And what sucks is that they're in a very precarious position that they put themselves in, that they're going to they can't have both anymore. Now they're going to have to show by their actions of like what is going to change of through that apology, and then at the same time is go by their standards. It's just like it's like now they're really in between a rock and a hard place, and right now what sucks is that I don't like the boycott. I understand why people are boycotting with this, and it's funny because like I was actually talking to someone about this because I had a friend that was a hardcore Overwatch fan, and they decided to stop in solidarity of like to show support of the of their decision. Their decision was wrong. And everything, and then I totally understand that. But then for me, I was thinking the same thing, and then they were wondering why am I still playing? Like, because the only game I play casually was Heroes of the Storm on through Blizzard. It's like, and then the reason why I said no, I wasn't going to do it is because yes, I understand what what happened under Blizzard's watch, but I know devs. I know the devs who created the games, and I also know the people that have worked hard, like their blood, sweat, and tears on certain of these things. And then I feel like it's kind of like the situation when Hideo Kojima was let go by Konami, and at the same time, and then how bad that happened, and then yet they're saying, okay, we're going to release Metal Gear Solid 5, but people are wanting to boycott Konami because they don't want to give the money to Konami. But then again, this is Hideo Kojima's masterpiece of a game. This is his last one, so it's kind of like you're in a weird precarious position. And I felt the same way with this, and I was like, I can't, like, this person finally got his chance to do an event in Heroes of the Storm, and I was like, oh, okay, I definitely want to try. I'm definitely going to support that, and I definitely will. And then, like I said, I'm not knocking anybody on doing what they're doing, and I'm not judging anyone about this, but I'm just saying that like it's a weird spot. Like, I'm pissed on the fact that they decided to waste people's time to make it seem like they're oh, we're one of you guys, but then at the same time, not going to do a damn thing on changing what they did, and knowing what they did was just flat out wrong. But yet they're wanting to say, oh, we're sorry. It's like no, whatever. You just could just not say anything at all. We already know where you're at, what you chose. So
Yeah. Yeah. They definitely, that was weak. That was a thing. And then also in the chat, Sasquatch says that what's even worse is Blizzard crowdfunding their WoW tournament and then pulling out their $500K contribution because crowdfunding went so well. That's terrible.
That's garbage.
That's
what
just
is
terrible.
that?
Why? Number one, why is this massive corporation crowdfunding? Hey, pay me money so that that doesn't make sense to me. But Blizzard. There's always been a rocky relationship, I feel like, between people and Blizzard and the things that they've done. Again, last year's announcement of the Immortals, what a slap in the face to gamers of all kind. Even if you never played that game in your life. I never played a Diablo, and I felt the slap to the face in that. Just like, wait a second, man, like. I know that people were talking about this, that there was much hype, that there was that potential, and all of a sudden it was just like, oh no, we got this mobile game that's not even, created by this other company in China. You know what I mean? And this and that. And then they had the audacity to say, don't you have phones? Like, clearly you are so disconnected from your community, which is a huge community. And not only that, but then your community saying, and this is where it comes down to, are the ducats more than the values that you hold? I know one thing about having a business and whatnot. You always have a what's the word I'm looking for?
A fiduciary responsibility. Oh, you mean mission statement?
Mission statement, your mission statement. Are your actions in line with what your mission statement is? And if it starts going askew, you know what I mean, then you know what they're about. They're telling you exactly what they're about. Their mission statement then becomes words, and their values just become words, because they're saying, look, man, we got to go where the dollars are, and we got to make sure that we're appeasing people that are doing this. To me, it's kind of like that. Like Twitter announcing we're not going to run any political ads at all. What a huge move to make just after Facebook coming off of sorry, I'm going on a little bit of a tangent, but just after Facebook saying no, we're going to run this and that, oh, we're not going to check for fake things or this or that. Twitter makes the hard stance of we're just not going to run political ads. Boom, there you go. And sometimes as a company, you know what I mean? Like, you have to make that choice of, am I going to stick to my values? Am I going to stick to what the community believes in? This is our community. We've come together. We've gamed together. We've been family from the get-go. You know what I mean? And you're basically saying, I understand that, guys, but money.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's the sense of no. You totally hit the nail on the head.
They are assassinating their own character by the actions that they're choosing.
Oh no, they definitely did. They definitely did. I'm really glad you circled around on back on this, but it's like. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny, like how much rage that we still have on it, and then I feel like we definitely need to keep it up as much as we possibly can to say, hey, we didn't forget with the crap or where you stood on when you had the choice of like standing up on where with Blitzchung's views and what you chose to do to appease China over your community and. And secondly, the level of what Blizzard was back in the day to what it is now. I mean, come on, the co-founders are not there anymore, and we also got like a lot. Most of those things, I just feel like it's not the same kind of community that we're wanting to that they've introduced to us for so long ago. I mean, like from what we grew up with. So I mean, and this it's just sickening to even think that this is one of the ones. It's like, man, it's a real big. Like slap in everyone's face when you see something like this is happening, and there's like, and you're just there for the ride. You can't do anything about it besides just try to support as much as you can on what you truly believe in on that, So yeah, so yeah. I mean, but like Yeah, but other than that, it's kind of like you can't really transition into something more at ease on that. But what was your view on what's it called? On BlizzCon.
F Blizzard. Let's talk about Overwatch 2.
That's essentially what it is.
And this is where I assassinate my character. No, it's funny that within this conversation and whatnot, I had a conversation with my buddy FPS Tom, and this man is huge into Overwatch, and he is one that is boycotting and saying, I'm not going to play your games. He has uninstalled everything, and I know how much he loves that game. So I think that really does say something as far as just the decisions that they've made and what kind of negative impact it's having on the community. However, something that I am excited about, and we talked about it a little bit last week, is Overwatch 2. We knew that this announcement was coming, and man, I gotta say, it got me super excited as far as the future and what they've got going on for Overwatch. I know anyone that plays Overwatch and whatnot, there's always that you want more lore. I want more lore. I want to know. They teased us with short stories, short films, this and that, and I can't get enough of this game and this world. Like everything about it, I just love it. I never realized going into it how much I was going to end up loving this game and the characters and everything it brings. And real quick, I know Donk hates this game, but one day he's going to give it a shot and it's going to be fantastic. But it's just fun. It's a fun game to play with your friends. They've got the competitive scene and whatnot, but they've announced it. They've announced Overwatch 2. We've gotten some videos, some details. We know there's new maps, there's new characters coming, the same PvP, and then it's going to be an actual, mainly focus on the PvE aspects of it. There's some things that I saw within this trailer. I saw a lot of robots, a lot of the null sectors. I said, at least in my opinion, in order for this to be successful, there needs to be some character to the bad guys, number one. We've already connected with the heroes, right? I need more out of the bad guys and the villains. I need to care about them too, as much as I care about the good guys. You know what I'm saying? And see what their story is and why they're doing the things. Because nobody's the bad guy in their own story, right? Everybody's the good guy. Right. So I want to know what I'd like a little more on what their story is and why they believe that they're just and the heroes of Overwatch are in the wrong. So I'm excited about that. A couple of heroes they talked about a new mode. This is the I think they said this is called Rage or not Rage, but I
forgot what they called it.
Something I can't remember. But it's basically kind of like a tug of war type of deal. I believe that this is what that is. I could be lying and making things up. Anyway, I'm excited about the potential and what they can do with this story. The things that I have questions about, though, is what does that do to normal Overwatch? If they have the same PvP in Overwatch 2, what does that do to the other one? Does it just that goes free to play and basically dies, right? I would think if they have the same thing in all those elements and stuff. And not only that, but they're also porting over all your skins, all your cosmetics will be ported over into Overwatch 2. Here's where people are pushing back, however, because people are saying, and I kind of agree with this, that this is just basically a DLC at full price. You're just basically paying for a new DLC where they're adding in the PvE. I've seen some people talk about the fact that they needed to do upgrades to the engine in order to properly do the PvE. But again, I've done limited research. This is, we're just getting into this now. So we're going to learn more about this. I kind of want to know what everybody's thoughts were. I am super excited about that. I have been wanting the PvE for a long time. I wish they would make a film or like a legit movie or short film within this world. So maybe this will help expand on that. We're going to get some new cities, new maps, new game modes, new heroes, but it's going to be your same same old Overwatch, is my understanding. Does now the Overwatch League port over to Overwatch 2, and that's where they do stuff from? Do they stay on the classic just Overwatch? I don't know. Those are questions and things that we'll have to wait and see how this plays out exactly.
Okay. First off, okay, for the people who are really kind of saying that this is a glorified like expansion, I mean, yeah, it is, but come on, I mean, like, dude, it's been what, 3 years? It's been 3 years, right? When the Overwatch, or 3 or 4 years. I don't know when the Overwatch came out.
Been 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
probably closer to 4 years. Yeah.
Okay, so my logic is this: like, okay, so you already got the microtransactions that you get that you got from Overwatch. Is what's keeping that was what really was keeping that really showed the level of support that people had in it. You're keeping all of that. All right, you're keeping all of that, and then not only that, they're also introducing multiple modes that they never did on the first one to a level of like, and then they're also pushing an extent. It's hard to say how extensive they are going in their story, but we already know the lore of Overwatch is pretty big in itself for a arena based game. So it's going, and then Blizzard is very strong on their on their story bases and stuff, so they're not going to half-ass it. So to say that they're saying this is a glorified just a glorified DLC, I think I would kind of say it's a little insulting in my opinion. I would kind of say that this is going to be a full-fledged game. This is what I'm expecting this to be. If anything, if they said that this was going to be a that they're just adding a PvE mode and basically doing an EA, like saying, oh, we're going to add PvE and then just half-ass that, then yeah. But come on, dude, I don't think that it's going to be like that. It looks like it's going to be meaty. And then to be honest with you, when I saw what they were, the little bit that they gave us, and this is not besides the PR stuff they're going to probably send us, I'm going to say that this is like a full-fledged game. This is going to be a big game, and it makes me want to play it. Play it because when they said they're adding the PvE, and then they're going to be more extensive on the story and give the bad guys more of a piece to the lore, because I didn't really care. I really didn't care about any of this besides just killing in the first one. I will see it's making me interested. It has truly made me interested in wanting me to play this more seriously, especially with friends and stuff. I mean, I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, okay. So I'm a diehard Overwatch fan. I have been pretty much since it came out. But I will say, like, I'm excited for it just because, I want more. I always want more Overwatch, as far as like, give me more lore, give me more characters, give me more modes to play on, give me something different that still allows me to play Overwatch. But at the same time, it's hard, and I like, there are definitely good aspects. The fact that your skins carry over, the fact that a lot of your progress from the Overwatch 1 carries over. That's great, but at the same time, it's like, are we getting a completely new game that's worth an entirely new like, are we getting a completely new game, or are we getting something that's the equivalent of a DLC, or something that's the equivalent of an expansion off of the initial game? Because how different is it truly? But in retrospect, and play devil's advocate to that opinion, look at all the games that have similar gameplay style but just different story. I mean, look at any RPG that has a consistent, like Fallout, for example. Fallout has same gameplay, same, I shouldn't say same story, but same setting, not necessarily same characters, but it's still the same game, just different, like, story. And that's kind of what Overwatch is doing. It's the same type of game, but it's a different story, it's different characters, different game modes and stuff like that. So I can understand why they're creating a totally separate game rather than just tacking it onto the first Overwatch.
Let me also put a little bit of a devil advocate on that though too, because okay, here's a good prime example of that. Monster Hunter World came out last year. The original one came out last year, and then they decided to say, we're going to make an expansion. And that expansion, the game wasn't even was a little bit over a year old when they decided to say, we're making Iceborne. Iceborne's $50. Or it's a full $50, it's a $50 expansion. And they didn't add, the only thing they didn't add, all they added was monsters and the area and an area and a stage like that. It took them less than a year or a little bit over a year for them to make that decision. Overwatch has been around for 3 years, and then on top of that, gave you free deals, gave you free expansion updates and stuff like that. We kept on updating the game. Has been giving you all these different chances and opportunities to get these crazy skins and stuff like that for 3 years. And then plus the people who didn't buy the skins, that didn't do that wasn't a part of the microtransactions and stuff like that, were playing the game, and then it was all good. And now, in 3 years later, people are complaining that they're going to be getting to say that they're going to have to charge $60. I think that's a little unfair to complain. I mean, you're wanting to support your game, I understand, but then they're also doing as much as they can to not lose the original people, to carry them over to this, by also adding new modes, by also giving out these different kinds of things, by also giving you the cosmetics that people paid for. That the biggest one is like, it was the cosmetics that people paid for, and then they're saying, don't worry, we got you covered on that. You can bring that to the second one, but that's still not enough. And I think that's a little bit spoiled to think that way. It's like, dude, these people, this is a company. These people are trying to get money, are also needing to get money to survive, and also they need the gamer's support. Now, people off of the game, we already been discussing our frustrations with the company and as a whole, but within the game, I think this is a pretty good catch. I mean, there's going to be people that are going to hate the game, and people are still going to hate the game. Don't buy it. That's fine. But like, just don't complain. I mean, don't be like, oh, I can't believe they're worried about, like, oh, is this going to be the same kind of game? Is this going to be the same kind of deal? It's like, no, it's not. It's like has Blizzard really? But I mean, Blizzard has made disappointments, but they definitely take care of their IPs, and especially this one. So I think it's a little unfair to be arguing on it. Now, if they said 6 months later when Overwatch 2 came out and say, oh, we're adding PvE $60, basically pulled EA, then yeah, I'll be on that fence. But no, not this time.
I agree with that, dude. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, all the upgrades and the constant updates, you know what I mean, what they've done with Overwatch, it has been 3-4 years. I haven't paid a penny, other than the original price for things. I've never felt like I've been locked away from being able to get a skin. If I wanted to get a skin, I don't mind this. I don't mind it. Yeah, I can see it. I mean, I don't know. Do you call it an expansion?
I won't call it an expansion.
That's what they did with...
I guess it depends on how much content they deliver.
I wouldn't,
yeah, exactly.
It depends.
I mean, they call... Look at Destiny 2's year one expansion. I thought that was trash. Yeah. That was base game stuff as far as with that. That shouldn't have even been called an expansion. That should have came with the base game. Yeah. So, I mean, again, it's all about what value you get from it, especially when you start playing it. And then I think that's where you'll be able to tell really if it feels like, this feels like a brand new game, as opposed to, man, this feels like an expansion, or this should have just, why wouldn't it just originally introduced into the game or just worked in a free update? I don't though have an issue throwing the ducats at this. I haven't gotten the feeling or anything like I'm being ripped off. Like, they've constantly been doing stuff for us, as far as within the Overwatch world, giving us lore, this and that. So the fact, it's really exciting for me, because now they're going to have the opportunity to really build out that lore and what that side of things look like, and that truly is what's exciting for me. I will throw the money for that.
I mean, and
I
was gonna say real quick.
Sorry, Davies.
No, it's okay. This is day zero. This is day zero of it being officially announced. To be people complaining about this stuff is way too early right now. Now, if it was like 6 months later down the line and it's going to veer to say that it's an expansion, right, then I will be like, okay. Then I see you have water to have something to complain about. But we are not even there yet, and people are already complaining about, like, oh, I can't believe they're making it 2. It's like, man, like, whatever, dude. It's like, so y'all just need to, like, to people who are already automatically doing that, y'all just need to calm down and wait and see what they have coming in the deal. There's new modes are coming in. We don't know the levels of how strong their PvE is going to be. So when they start explaining more of it, then make the decision of like see if this is going to be an expansion or not. But yeah. So I'm sorry. That's all I was going to say. What were we going to say, Flex?
Oh, I was actually going to say the exact same thing. This is day 0. We don't know what else they're going to put out yet. We don't know what kind of updates they're going to have on the progression of the game itself. So we take things at face value, sure, but we can only speculate so much. Mm-hmm. So, and I know Retro in chat mentioned the same thing, that, a game tease now isn't always what comes out. So.
Oh, exactly. That is so true. Yeah. So, and then, and I'm going to ask, cause I got someone from CFG at BlizzCon right now that, they're going to, because they're going to get, I'm pretty sure they're going to go check out Overwatch 2. So I'm going to ask because they do have demos there on the mode to see what he thinks of it, and then but other than that, yeah, just let it breathe, guys. That's all I will say. I think for me, like I'm not a big Overwatch fan either, and I mean I'm just like, okay, cool, this was a cool thing for me for a good month. I'm not even a 1-star in that game. I'm like only like level 60 something in that game, and that's it. I think that this is going to be, if it's going to be PvE, it's going to have story. If it's going to do co-op like they're going to do with all these different kinds of modes, then heck yeah, sign me up. I want to play. I want to check that sucker out, especially play with y'all. I mean that's like that would be a very fun experience in my eyes. So and then when you think about like Overwatch 1. Well, how many modes are in Overwatch 1 like that are permanently there? Like how many modes are there? No, I'm legitimately asking, like how many modes are in Overwatch 1? Because I know there's always modes like.
So the way that Overwatch 1 goes, you have your quick play, and then they created quick play, the new version of it, slightly differently, where you have role queue. You have your competitive, and then they added in the old quick play where you just team up with random people and then pick in the actual match itself, so you're not designated to a specific type of role. But they have something, I believe it's every week. They change out. It's either every day or every week. They change out what games are under the arcade tab, meaning you have all these different arcade games. So you have sometimes ones that are from Holiday, sometimes are like low gravity, or maybe versus, or maybe 3v3 and so forth. So that's interchanging constantly.
Oh, okay. So like
did they announce a release date for this?
No, not yet.
They did not.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
Jeff Kaplan said, "I have no idea when this is going to be released."
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to give it at the max within the next 2. It could be late next year or early the year 2021.
Or early the year after. Yeah, I can see that.
Like
dude.
2022.
Yeah, so like even when it's said and done, when the game is when the game is released, it's gonna be like 4 or 5 years later. So I mean it's kind of funny because it's kind of the same kind of argument that people are having about the new upcoming Pokemon game, that they're saying like, I can't believe we're not able to transport your old Pokemon to the new one, and then it's like, why are you buying the new game if that's what you're wanting out of all of that? It's like, why you want you want something different, you want some sort of levels of change, and then this is what they're going to give you. So I don't know. I'm sorry, it rubs me the wrong way when people complain about things like that. It's just it's just me on that. I'm assuming, but we'll see. I
feel that, dude.
Well, overall, Smitty, how hyped are you for it, or for the announcement?
I'm super hyped for it. I want more lore. I want more story. I want to be able to co-op in a different way with my friends within that universe. I can't wait for it.
Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna be real.
And I'm the same way with Smitty there.
Yeah, so definitely, we'll definitely run on that if that's the case. I know you already got a big Overwatch community, so all right. So that is the end of the show. So that's great. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening to episode number 27 of CFG Gamecast. We'll definitely be back next week on a special Extra Life stream on this. We're going to do it with all three of us actually at a place together in the same time. So for charity. So definitely check out my channel CFG Games for that. And we're gonna have a lot of different kinds of things. We're also gonna be doing giveaways and stuff like that for anyone who's donating for this awesome cause. So definitely check us up, swing by. We're going to be doing the podcast, I believe, around 6 or 7. Don't quote me on that yet, but depending on what happens, but it's going to be in the evening time. So, but we'll publish and let y'all all know. Flexiss, what are you up to this week?
So I'm going to LA this coming up weekend, but next week I'll be back into the streaming. You guys will get another taste of my training sessions as I prep for North American regionals. And then of course a little bit of Street Fighter mixed in. And then of course prepping for amazing Extra Life that I'm looking forward to doing so much.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, I'm so hyped for that. Smitty, what about you? What you got going?
So I'm going to be streaming after here. I'm going to take a 20-minute break so I can use the bathroom and whatnot. And then we're going to fire up. I think we're going to play some GTFO tonight back on this channel. I'll switch back over to my OBS, do a reset of that and whatnot. So, do that and drink some burrs and have a good time. And then tomorrow, I have no idea what we're going to stream. Maybe do some work on some sound effects and things like that. Maybe do some editing. I don't know. We'll see. So and then of course we're heading out to Phoenix this Friday for that for Extra Life 24-hour stream. So I'm super geeked about that.
Oh yeah, that's great and that's awesome. So yeah, I can't wait till we have a fun time with all that. So definitely, guys, thank you so much for checking us out, and be sure to for next week. It's going to be crazy. So this is Davis, Flexiss, and Smitty signing off. Y'all have a great night.